All right. Hey, welcome to the Go for CEO channel again. And thank you so much for coming on board. You know, one of the things that we do here is meet with startups to 25 million in revenue, and really just the CEOs, the founders, the entrepreneurs of the local business owners around the country and around the world one day, to really bring you the best stories possible and share with you the insights, the marketing, the operations, the scaling that they do. And today we have a special opportunity. It's going to be, this gentleman was on as the first interview of the Go for CEO channel, and now he's the second follow-up interview, which is one of the things that we do here at Go for CEO. We will follow up with the stories that we brought on first, and second, we'll follow up just with where they're going, what the journey is. And in this year, 2020, it's really been a little bit of a shift, a little bit of a pivot that everybody has had to do. And we're excited to have Dr. Jim Claussen back on today with the Health Doctors. Hey, Jim, how are you?
John, I'm doing fantastic, man. And I'm excited for you, my friend. Thank you for having me back on. I think what you're setting up is absolutely phenomenal for everybody out there in the world to connect with docs and people that are running businesses and create a culture in a community. And thank you for setting this all up, because as we get to this point of being in a community like yours, it's only going to help us all grow to the next level, man. So thanks. Appreciate it.
Go for CEO. Yeah, no, it's all about Go for CEO, the driven by mindset and bringing the wealth of knowledge that, small to medium-sized business owner, which is what really runs America. If you think about 28 million small business owners out there making it happen, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, CEOs, founders. That's fantastic. So thank you for coming back. So,
Absolutely.
It is 2020, Dr. Jim. It's been a crazy year.
Over. Thank God.
And for those Go for CEO people that are coming back and are following us, by the way, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave some comments for Dr. Jim as you will enjoy this video today. So, Dr. Jim, what are some of the things that you did that you feel prepared you in some ways for this 2020 pandemic scenario? And then how did you pivot within? So I'll let you have the floor.
John, that's a great question. And there was no preparing for this. This was a complete left field, blindside shock to everybody in the country, and obviously the world, because this has definitely been global. I feel very blessed in the fact that everything that I've talked about for my business, this is about health. And so I'm not afraid of a little bug. I'm not going to downplay the fact that this is a serious bug, because it is, in this fact that viruses, bacteria, parasites, they could overtake a body if the body gets depleted and run down. So, we've set ourselves up to talk about this since day one. When, my practice through this whole thing, John, it took a little bit of a hit, because we first kind of took a step back when this thing first got expelled to us, right? And nobody knew what it was. This came from China. This created, complete hysteria for everybody. Like, what is going on? So we had to take a step back. And so my team, it was basically myself and Annette, my wife, who's the office manager. So we basically just stepped up. We sent everybody home for a couple of weeks just to know, what, I'm going to take the reins. I'll do what I got to do. Just like every other CEO out here. It's like, we show up, right? So I showed up. I took my hours from what they were and I expanded them out so we can do all the things that we had to do, following all the guidelines from the CDC and the WHO, the World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health. We took everything and we kind of compiled everybody's opinions and we said, okay, let's do all of it. So we opened up our doors still, and, we put our head down. And just until like the last couple of weeks, maybe beginning of the last quarter, that I picked my head up and go, holy cow, I took a breath. And then when Annette and I, we kind of assessed what was going on, everything was actually up this year, surprisingly. Wow. Compared to a lot of even other chiro offices and stuff, because again, I've set this up to talk about health and vitality. So people have come to me because they want health and they want vitality. They want to be strong, healthy, vital, and alive. So people, they're all like, when I spread everybody out, John, I had a couple of people ask me, like, where's everybody? They should all be here. And I said, I know, but they are. I just went longer, longer days, no big deal, So just like everybody else, we roll up our sleeves, we got to dodge, we got to jump through hoops. So that's what I did. and it's worked out pretty good this year.
I appreciate you sharing that, and one of the things that we've noticed, throughout the small business community is that, the pivot, right? The little bit of strategy that they implemented really kind of made a big difference. The infrastructure of your office, as I told people on the first interview, I'm a client of many, many years, and, the environment is so, so relaxing, so inviting. What were some strategic things that you did to make people feel comfortable and, keep up that momentum that you had of clients coming in and production and revenues?
So what I did is basically I went back to my books, and because there was so much misinformation out there about what the virus was and what health is and all this. And I went back and I started handing stuff out to people. I started doing some videos and things myself on education. I started doing, weekly, Wednesday night wellness talks for people, and I'm teaching them how it works. Because I want you to have certainty. So if I give certainty in how you work and you understand how you work, well, now you're empowered. So people are going to make great choices based on themselves being empowered by fact, not social media fact, but actual science fact from, and medical textbooks. And that's where I got my information from. So when people are all questioning things about, well, I saw this on Facebook, I'm like, I don't care. Facebook doesn't tell me anything other than, whatever. But I came in, I dialed in, I got facts, and I started sharing truth. And, when people understand that and it feels right to them, because it's hard to know a lot of things, right? Because there's so much variables on this side, that side, who's telling you the truth. And one of the things that I've taught patients this past year a lot, what does it feel like to you? We all got that internal clock, right? We got that internal voice. What is it saying? Is it saying it's truth? Do you buy in? Then I say, God bless you, go for it. Do you feel like, this is this over here is bull, I'm out. Good for you. Listen to this. And so in the fact of giving truths from science, teaching people to tap inside, feel it. What does it feel like? Do you feel it? No? Okay, then quiet. With all the noises, you can't feel anything. So you got to stop and be quiet. So, one of the things I've done, John, is a lot more quiet time. First thing in the morning, I was up this morning, again, like I said, early. I was up at, 4:45, got up, sat in my sauna, sweating, thinking, being, just breathing, and feeling. And, so then when you do that, you just get clarity. So in this middle of this craziness, I've just been more quiet and found my path and tell the truth. And so that's been like the biggest thing that I've had to do, which worked out really well so far.
I love it. And, you shared, you got, pretty lean right at the beginning, right? Got lean and mean, understood some of the ways that you needed to pivot. You said education on Wednesdays, were those webinar based, or how did you get the messaging out for these webinars, these teaching moments, these re-education opportunities for your clientele to then feel safe to come back?
So we've done everything basically through, again, like we've talked about, everything in my office has been pretty much word of mouth. So we have our database on our email. So everything's been email based for the most part. I haven't really hit social media or anything. This is going to change moving forward. We can talk about that in a minute. But right now, it's just everything has been. I had postcards we made up. Everybody that came in got a card. I don't have one here, but just a little handout here. Take this home with you. Hey, sign up. Hey, join on. Hey, give these to your friends. So it was just again grassroots type of setup. And it worked well, but definitely had to lean up because again, we didn't know, we had to restructure some of the pay scales for people because we weren't sure. Everybody got nice bonuses this year because it turned out that it was good. So I said, oh, here, Merry Christmas. And everybody was like, what? Which was awesome. And we had a lot of tears and a lot of hugs coming through my staff. So it helped out that for them, and we were able to share back at the end of the year. So it worked out. Getting lean, circling the wagon, so to speak, and then looking, going, okay, we can do this. And so it worked well.
It's enjoyable to just hear, that last message even too, about just recognizing that through this period, you guys thrived as a company. And then at the end, as you made an executive decision and you shared, some of the the give back of
Yeah.
what happened in your business. Pretty awesome, and something
Yeah.
for everybody to get to understand, right?
Yeah.
You don't build this business or any business really by yourself. You
Not a
can
thing.
be a solopreneur, but being an entrepreneur and becoming a CEO of running your own business really involves a lot of people. So first, you and your wife, the duo tag team, and then some of the surrounding people. And I know firsthand, going into your office recently, just some of the great people you have around us. Tell us a little bit about those people that stuck around, maybe some new people that have come in, and how did you strategically start to, kind of come back to normal over the last, quarter or so?
So as we've pulled everybody back in, and they all felt safe, and I told them all, I said they all have to feel safe for me because we're in a business that we see people, right? So we have all of our protections and all that stuff set up. We all have our distancing and everything. So they were all on board. I mean, my staff has known us. I've pushed them back on purpose because, again, I wasn't certain yet in the beginning. And then once I got certain about, okay, we can do this. This is not some biological thing. This was viral, which has been altered a little bit, but the immune systems, the nervous systems we've figured out can beat this thing. 99.0997, something like that. I don't have to get the numbers. 99% better survival, thriving rate with this. So then I went, okay, you know what? Let's dive in. So my team has always been on board with me as far as building health and vitality for people. So it was pretty easy to get them to be on board with coming back in and being safe and feeling safe. Some of our clients have different views, and they're a little bit more nervous and about coming in. So we've created in a space like separate rooms. Like, hey, we can put them right in here. So we had to walk in, go in a room, completely clean, sanitized, all that stuff. And my team has been phenomenal with orchestrating all of that so that, I don't necessarily have to, but just that certainty in what we do and the certainty in our vision and the passion behind the vision and the mission that we have, my team it was easy sell to get them back on board, to get them going again.
And that's so true, right? When you start thinking about, you were at the head of the spear, having to get through this, dilemma or situation, whatever you want to say, and getting certainty. So now the team comes around you. Your clients are feeling educated over the last few months, and they're starting to get certain as well. And so I also noticed, some of the things that have, maybe been tweaked around the business. And I wanted to talk to you about this. I know, obviously, the chiropractic services and the wellness side of the Health Doctors, we talked last time, being led by the number one CEO in your business, which is God, and then the foundation and everything that you've done. But I noticed some things too, that you're adding some other services, some other product lines and things that I noticed around your office. Can you tell the audience just kind of what you thought too? It seems like this has been a little bit of a tweak also through this time, and adding more value to the experience of the clients.
So, and thank you for seeing all that, because we try and put out there. I mean, I'm always looking for the best products for patients. The things I have in my office, you can't get at like GNC and Walgreens and stuff because of the quality of product for the most part. So we've just dove in to go, okay, what do we really need? And I've actually kind of honed in with just the basics for, I lost you there. Where we go? There we go. I honed in on the basics for supporting a system and building a system. Getting rid of all the outside stuff, saying, okay, what do I really truly need? So to your point about leaning up, so that's what we've done. And we've put them out in front of people, as opposed to just assuming that people knew. We actually just created, a little bit more of awareness to what we have to offer. It was always kind of there, but now we bring an awareness to it all. And as that happens, then people start activating and joining in and saying, hey, can I do this? So that's been a little bit of a bump up too for us, as far as, supporting what we do chiropractically, but then also with supplement lines and things like that.
So when you think about, just services and adding on, you kind of detailed something that really plays into a vertical of what you have, what you were already doing right on the services side. So can you share with the audience, what was some of the mindset when you think about analyzing what you want to bring into your practice and what you want to expose to your clients? Go a little bit deeper on that.
So the game is being simple. I'm trying to get people to understand that this is simple. Health is simple. If right now it's seeming so overly complicated, I'm going to tell you that it's not. And it goes back to, again, the power of the human body. The spirit of the human body has a will to be strong, healthy, and vital and alive. So in trying to get people out of the static and quiet, all the noise, stop, trust. And I ask simple questions like, have you ever had a cut not heal? Nope, never. It always healed, didn't it? Yeah, always. Look at that. No scar even. Oh, look at me. I'm so amazing. So when people understand that this is it, the power, God gave you everything you need. And so try to simplify. Health is not the easiest thing in the world, but when people grab onto the concept that, oh man, okay. And then foundationally, John, I'm not a big proponent of you got to be on supplements and take all that stuff all the time. But during this, yeah, maybe I got to really boost me up to get out of the little funk, as well as a mindset, the simplicity of a mindset. Can you? Yes. How are you going to do that? I don't know yet. That's okay. You don't have to know, but let's get through this. How are you going to thrive through this? I had no idea in February and March. I had no idea, but I had a feeling, again, like we've talked about in the first ones, like I don't have an option. I got one option. I shouldn't say I hadn't. I got one option: success, to succeed, to thrive, to tell people the truth. So when I can simplify it for them and they own it for themselves and they go, okay, I can do this. And that's where the power's been, John. It's just the simplifying it, but again, challenging because there's so much information out there, but in getting them to learn how to be quiet, and which is also, and for me, I like to talk. So it's hard for me too sometimes to, stop talking and just listen. And it's a challenge. And, so maybe if you get up early enough in the morning, you're half asleep so you can be quieter then, which has been my trick.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been amazing. And I know over this season and this year, I've just, been so blessed to kind of see your business in the transition and the services and the things that you do, really awesome. And that's why we want to follow you every 6 to 12 months and see where the health doctors are going. So let's transition into kind of the mindset of where you're taking this practice, going into 2021. Can you share us, what you've done over the last maybe couple weeks, or maybe what you're doing for the next couple weeks to prepare to go into 2021? Anything going to change? Also, maybe your speaking capabilities, out there. You said social media. Share with the audience what a small business owner going through a year like this is doing to tweak for next year.
Yeah. So I have in my practice a professor at one of the universities in Chicago. So they needed a project this year to create a marketing plan. And she was talking to me about this, and I said, well, you want to use me? So she partnered up with me and our office, and they are still in the process. We're almost done with it, with creating a marketing platform. So I am going to start marketing this year more than just word of mouth. So they've helped create a whole system. And I haven't gotten the final details of it all yet, but the final platform of this is something that I could implement and move forward with, because I think that it's important now more so than ever to really get truths out there. So I'm going to be on social media. I'm going to be creating I have a YouTube channel I've had for years, but never done anything with it. Right. So now it's going to be, again, fact-based, education-based, textbook-based, not just, opinions about, I think this. I don't care what you think, what's real and what's not. So I'm going to be, again, I started out this Wednesday wellness talks every Wednesday. So that's been just kind of been diving in. I've been doing it for 2-3 months now, 2 months maybe. So I'm like you, going to create content. So everything is going to be a fact-found content. So I'll figure out how to do. I don't know how to do any of this stuff, John. So I got videos going right now. So I'm just putting it out there, and what's going to happen? I don't know, but I know that it's going to be big and people are going to find me. And then that word of mouth is going to go. And because it's going to just stay the course. So I'm creating this vision that's going to be more, I'm going to say global, because the internet is global. So they'll find me in China, they'll find me in Japan, they'll find me in Europe and Ireland and, New Zealand, and they're going to find out about truth, and they're going to find out about health, and what is it going to take to get healthy? So I'm taking this a lot bigger than just my four walls in my office, and I'm going to take it out to the world via computers.
I love it. It's interesting, right? 20 something years in business, 7-figure type business, in an industry that it's tough to compete because there's a lot of people in it, but creating your truths, creating your balance, understanding kind of where you're going in your business. And now 20 years later, you're still open-minded, which is an unbelievable thing, right? To stay open-minded to this new marketing platform, and you pivoting over into this new social media and wellness and education. Pretty interesting how over the last few months you already kind of set a foundation of your Wellness Wednesdays and getting those messages out there. I'm sure there's already a pack, right? A tribe of people that follow you, and it's going to be, like you said, worldwide. You got to put that vision out there. So awesome stuff. What are some other things too that you think either product wise or collaborations? I know that obviously you brought in a couple of new doctors underneath you in your practice the last year or so, and you said that it was like a yin yang. You're the alpha kind of talker. You've got a couple teammates now that a little bit different personalities, but they fit so well into your business. What are some aspects of that you feel may change, or are you kind of maintaining that for next year?
So right now it's been kind of maintaining. I've been blessed to do what I do, and people have a tendency towards gravitating towards personality, or mainly personality, I guess. They have a tendency of gravitating that way, which trying to duplicate me, trying to get these other docs to adjust like I adjust. I don't want that. I want them to be themselves. So, my one associate's been with me now for a couple of years, 4 or 5 years, something like that now, and really starting to come into her own. I had another doc that decided to turn left early on in the pandemic. So unfortunately he bolted out. So I haven't started looking for another doc on top of it. So it's just the two of us at the moment. But in trying to create a passion and just being themselves. And as you know, in teaching all these CEOs, it's not easy to get everybody on your page. It's not easy to get them to go, well, look this is the only way, and that's a challenge. And people then have to buy into the new people and everything. So this is a love of just people. And the team is going to keep growing because I'm going to keep finding them and bringing them in to help touch them. And the passion of themselves has to be expressed. Not easy. But I'm going to keep looking for associates. I'm going to keep looking for teammates that can help out. And again, as energy, one of the things I've learned, John, in this thing is and I'm going to call this a bandwidth, and that's how much energy can I use? What do I have, and how much can I use? And when people are trying to add other services and lots of other things in, if it takes you out of your bandwidth, it creates a lot of static. It literally is like, think about a radio station. If I'm trying to listen to, 670 the score, but I put it on 672, I went outside the bandwidth. Yeah, I can hear it, but it's a lot of static. So that's part of the quieting that I've been doing, to do this with my energies so that I can do exactly what you're saying, so that I want to take it to another level. What do I got to do? I have to create a bigger bandwidth. So when I can stretch myself comfortably, and it's never, I shouldn't say comfortably, it's never comfortable to stretch, is it, John? Everything always starts, pulling, that hurts, yeah, but then all of a sudden, I'm bigger banded. Okay, good. So in that process, this is what this has been, and the pandemic stuff has definitely caused me to take a bigger bandwidth, but I did it by being a better me. And that's the goal, right? So I have to change myself to get my bandwidth open. So the docs are going to come, the team's going to come. As people want to see me, I'm still going to be on my tables adjusting people, but at the same time, I have to create a different path so that I could influence more. And that's what my next step is going to be. So the team has got to be solid, which, we haven't done our monthly meetings, our weekly meetings, rather. We've kind of took all that and just said done, but my team's asking for it. So after the first year, I said, listen, we're going back to our weekly meetings and to circle the wagons and stuff, because we've just been getting it done without
Yeah,
me.
you've just been head down, making things happen, putting little
Yes.
tweaks here and there, pivoting.
Yes.
But now next year you can kind of get back to a system, a
Yep.
process, right? And
Yep.
rail and everything, because everybody still needs your vision. They always say if your vision is big enough, people can fit inside of it. But if your vision's too small, how the heck do they get in there, right? So,
Right. This is true.
so as you scale, this part of the marketing side and the social media, one thing I'm interested in hearing, what are you doing to tweak, I guess, just your revenue side of things? How are you managing the ability to then now add more into this bucket of marketing? Are you looking to get more capital, some debt to be able to get into that, or using revenues that you have to allocate in different areas so that now you can kind of master this other part?
So I am at this point in life, I'm really not that interested in going more in debt.
Mm.
So we've been trying to save some cash, basically. So I just invested in some more technologies in my office to do different types of scanning. So again, I could assess and measure nervous systems and measure stressors on the body and show people, look, here it is. We need to go over here. You're stuck over here. We're going to go from here to here. So what that's going to do is, again, with certainty, help create a lane, if you will, for people to get in and follow us. And we could measure and measure and measure and measure and measure along the way. But I'm not going to, borrow to pay forward at this point. I've been blessed enough that we're just going to use the cash flow and create another avenue with all of the social media and things like that. So, there'll be the marketing. I'm not exactly sure what the fees are going to be, John. I don't know what the capital is going to be needed to create some of that stuff, but it's going to be scaled down low. Again, I've never done this before, so I'm not sure. But other than I'm just going to give a little, and as it grows, we're going to take a little off the top and feed it back in, right? So I'm going to use what I make to create a momentum and build up from there. Does it get big? It should, and it will. But I'm not going to just take a chunk and say, here, let's do this, because that's not how I want to run.
I love hearing that, because a lot of people think, well, hey, I'm going to have to go get more debt, or I don't have a big chunk. I don't have good cash flow. But what Dr. Claussen just said is, look, start small. Whatever revenue you do have, allocate a piece of that and start putting it towards this momentum. That ROI, right? Return on investment is going to be, okay, hey, you spent $1. Okay, now $2 came in, $2.50 came in. Take that 50 cents, put it back into this wheel, but don't just go blow it, right? That's the number.
Right. No.
And I think a lot of people learned through this pandemic that, not only do you need some reserves to go through some weathered times, but you need to also reallocate it and put yourself in a situation where, those revenues that come in your business, start putting them into strategic things that will then produce an ROI coming back. So pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
So anything else going on that you want to share? Obviously being the second interview here in the Go for CEO Nation, we want to have people follow the Health Doctors, encourage them to really understand kind of what truths you're going to start bringing out in 2021, some of the programs and everything, anything that you want the community to know about besides the facts that you've shared already.
Well, I'll try and get you the information on Wellness Wednesdays, because to me, this is a wellness is a complete game of understanding. It's not just taking my vitamin D thinking I'm healthy. It's not just me going for a run on Tuesday night and thinking I'm healthy. Me picking up a heavy weight and putting it down is not healthy. It is a complete package. So trying to get people to understand that, understand that it takes work. Understand that, be careful who you follow. Even me, research me, check me out, see what I've done, look at all the, even Google reviews and stuff. We've asked people to do those for us. We're up to almost 100 now. And so, it's like, I've never asked for that. And my team is now. So again, we're starting to get this. And, this is a bigger picture for people to understand. And again, about being self-empowered is something hard to get people to do too, because it's like, well, they got their beliefs. Well, I'm going to question them a little, maybe. Let's take a look at them a little bit. Let's reassess them. Just like this conversation, let's reassess. Let's go back and see what's changed. And I could change. I cannot change. I got choices, So, I did have a book, a little ebook that I wrote called 7 Essentials for Life. That's on Amazon. It's been there. When we first came out with it, I got Amazon best-selling author when that got published a couple of years back. So people can go on to Amazon and look up the 7 Essentials for Life, because that's basically the foundation of things that I talk about in all of my Wednesday wellnesses: what you eat, drink, exercise, rest, breathe, and the two most important: what do you think and what do you allow? What do you receive? Right? So you put all this out, but are you willing to take it in? So those are the couple of things that I'm, trying to get people to understand about how we play.
How you're driven by mindset. I love it. I love it.
Game.
So look, Dr. Claussen, thank you so much for coming back on board. And again, we'll follow up in 6 to 12 months.
Let's do it.
We want to see where the health doctors are going 2021, some of these marketing tools that you're doing, the Wellness Wednesdays. We'll put it up on the description as you share that information with us. Again, the ebook is, what's it called again?
7 Essentials for Life. Simple lifestyle hacks to get 7 essentials.
7 Essentials for Life. Go on Amazon, read about, what those things can do to help you. And really, it's been a pleasure kind of reconnecting again. I know I'm a client, so I see you every so often anyway, but excited to have had you back on and really appreciate your time.
Johnny, thank you, man. I appreciate you doing this too. Like I said, this is phenomenal for you and for all these other CEOs out there, because when we have a community of CEOs, it helps us all grow to the next level. So this is all about leveling up, man. And I'm happy to be here with you.
That's right. Well, hey, thank you. Founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, driven by mindset. You know what? Go for CEO.